This is the EWN Podcast Network.
Ever wondered how you could turn your side hustle into a full-time gig and spend more time together?
Hi, I'm Vikki, a #1 best-selling author.
And I'm John, a retired Los Angeles police officer. Welcome to Dig the Well, where we help couples navigate the world of business.
We've been married for 35 years, and because we built a successful side business, John retired 9 years earlier than he originally planned from the Los Angeles Police Department after 25 years on the job. Now we spend more time together, and we want to help couples like you do the same.
Join us as we help you overcome common obstacles, and we show you how to make extra income without sacrificing family time.
Ready to dig deep and build your well? Let's get started. All right, we are excited to be on today, sharing a little bit more about us, asking each other some questions about our personal background, our upbringing, just so, you guys could get to know us better. And so I'm going to shoot off the first question. Sound good, John?
Yes, we're going to do like a question and answer and then
and then
lightning round, right?
Yeah, we have a lightning round at the end. So make sure to stay with us for that one. All right, John, what does owning your own business mean to you?
Okay, Vikki. I think it means freedom, and it's not just financial freedom, but it's kind of, time freedom. I think a lot of people work hard. I think most people work hard, and they may have the money they want, but they really don't have the time they want to be able to do the things that they would really like to do. Or it's the other way around, right? You have a whole lot of time and not a lot of money. So I think owning your own business gives you the opportunity to have both, to have time and money.
Ooh, love it. Love it. Mine's kind of the same. The freedom of time and money. So we're right on the same page with that one.
Yeah.
All right. Did your upbringing influence you in wanting to start your own business?
Yeah, that's kind of fun. That's an odd one because my dad and my mom didn't work until I think I was in high school was when she first started to work. So in my household, it was four of us. I have a sister, and my dad was the sole income earner, and he worked for a big company. So, and he didn't own his own business, but he encouraged me when I was in high school to start my own business. So it was kind of weird that he wasn't an entrepreneur, but he believed in it. So yeah, I guess my upbringing did influence me because I did start my own business. I started that in high school in my mom and dad's garage. Sounds kind of odd, but it just kind of grew from there.
Yeah. I applaud your dad because that is so true.
Yeah.
I think most people that aren't entrepreneurs don't even think to encourage their kids to be. So good for him. And, for me, my father was an entrepreneur. His father was an entrepreneur. So it was all about that. But also what's kind of we've done where it's having an additional income stream and then going off on your own. That was kind of what my dad did too. So we'll talk about that in other episodes.
Yeah. And your grandfather he emigrated here.
Yeah.
So he came here for the American dream.
Yeah.
I think that was probably one of the big reasons why he wanted to come to America was to have his own business.
Yeah, it's super, super cool. Owned a delicatessen in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah. All right. So this is a juicy one. What's a business tip you swear by or would give to a new entrepreneur? What tip?
I would say just do it, right? Just don't analyze and get paralysis by analysis. Don't worry about whether you're going to succeed or fail, because the only way you're going to fail is if you never even start. So I would say, whatever it is you want to do some research. Don't go in thinking that it's just going to be a huge success right off the bat. It's going to take work, but just do it. And then that's for another time. But yeah, I would say just do it. Don't think about it too much.
Yeah, that goes right in line with what I've always heard you talk about is deciding, make a decision and do it. Yeah, totally goes with that. Yeah. And for me, my biggest tip that I swear by, honestly, is enthusiasm. it does make a difference. I've heard that quote, enthusiasm makes the difference. I had a leader tell me that once, a mentor, say, never lose your enthusiasm. And of course, at the time, I thought she was absolutely crazy. Like, why would I? I'm excited about my new business. And as the entrepreneur roller coaster goes, it's all the up and down. It's not straight to the top. It's tons of that, peaks and valleys. And that's when I realized, oh my gosh, that's what she meant. That's absolutely what she meant. Don't lose my excitement. Remember how it was when I first started, and that belief and my dreams, and never give up. So,
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, if you think about some of the greatest sports games you've ever seen, and it's never just a one-team blowout. Those aren't the ones you remember. The ones you remember are those close-fought battles, right? To where it comes right down to the last second, and one team wins over the other. And especially if you're a part of that team, right, and you pull off that victory, and it's in the last second. They mean more. And so I think when you're going through your own business and you're going through the ups and downs, like Vic said, it's never just a straight line. It's always ups and downs, peaks and valleys, that it means more in the end when you've had to weather the tough times. And I know it has for us, for sure.
definitely. And you're proud of yourself for sticking with it.
Because you've actually accomplished something, right?
Definitely. All right. Number 4, if we're counting. What is your biggest business fear?
I think, well, gosh, I think the fear of failure, right? If you're going to put yourself out on the line and start your own business, I think most people are afraid that, what if it fails? What if it doesn't work? Well, what if, right? And if you do have challenges, you should embrace those challenges, because there's no way you're going to succeed unless you have the challenges. It was like, I don't know if you follow SpaceX, but I was, from the very beginning, SpaceX has been working on a reusable rocket. That was their whole theory, was reusing a rocket, where in the past with our Saturn rockets, we've always fired them up and we've just left them in space. So it'd be something like if you were flying from Los Angeles to New York, and when you reached your destination in New York, they trashed the plane. They just junked the plane. How expensive do you think your ticket would be to fly on that 747 or whatever plane it is, on that plane from Los Angeles to New York? That flight would be incredibly expensive if they're just going to trash the plane at the end and junk it. If they're going to reuse the plane, which is what they do, the ticket price becomes much cheaper. And that was the whole idea with SpaceX. They're going to reuse the rockets. And everyone said, you can't do that. You can't bring that rocket back to Earth and have it land intact to be able to reuse it again. And so as they're going through the testing procedure, and I was following it, I remember one time Elon Musk was interviewed on it, and they said, is it gonna crash again this time? And he said, absolutely. He said, I know it's gonna crash. It won't survive it. But he said, what we'll learn from this failure, which is not really a failure, but what we learn from this not landing properly will help us the next time. And he goes, and eventually we'll get to the point where the rocket will land safely and we can reuse them. We're there now.
Yeah.
But he embraced the failure. He knew it was going to fail. He knew it wasn't going to. He told him straight up, it's going to crash. It's going to crash in a big ball of flames, but we're going to learn from it.
And that's huge, because I think most people don't have that mindset, and you definitely have to have that. You stole my answer, by the way. Yeah, because I really agree with you 100% that fear is probably almost everybody. Fear of failure is probably almost everybody's biggest fear in starting a business, but that's when you learn the most. So you will fail. We're just going to tell you, you're going to start a business. There are going to be times when you fail. Don't quit, right?
Yep.
You don't stop building your business. You're going to regroup, assess, and get going again, for sure.
Yeah, and just learn from it. Mm-hmm. Just analyze what happened and why it went the way it went, and try not to repeat any mistakes that you've made, but just embrace them. You're not perfect, and your business won't be perfect from the very get-go, but it will get better, and you will succeed if you just don't quit.
Yeah, definitely.
So now I get to ask the questions. I get to be the boss. Okay, so the next question is, how do you handle sudden business challenges?
That's a really good one. I really, a lot of times, take a deep breath. And a lot of times you're in an emotional state, or I'm in an emotional state when a challenge happens. And I have to take a deep breath. I sometimes walk around the house or take a walk outside and clear my head, and then realize that, you know what, get into solution mode instead of upset and frustration mode on whatever it was that happened. And I just get to work. I don't dwell in it. I might kick the can. I might be mad, if it's something that's made me mad, but then I will get right into solution mode. And that didn't happen overnight. This is definitely a skill I've had to learn over time, and probably a lot of business challenges that I've tackled. But that's my go-to now. Just get it. Okay, it happened. What are we going to do about it?
Yeah, that's great. And, I guess for me, since I already expect there to be challenges, and if everything's going really well, I'm like waiting for the other shoe to fall, right? I'm waiting for some sort of challenge to pop up. And one of the things I've found out, or I've realized, that challenges generally pop up and it doesn't need immediate action. It's rarely do you have to act on something right away to make it better. So what I usually like to do is just back away, sleep on it, right? Give it some time, and then that calms me down a little bit too. So I don't react. I'm not, like you were saying, about being reactionary. And I look at it from different angles, and I really try and analyze it and try and figure out what's the best solution for whatever this challenge is. And I think taking a little bit of time, and it may even be several days, if it's not imperative that I act on it right away. And like I said before, rarely is that ever the case. Usually I can take a couple of days, really give it some thought, and make the right move.
That's good. That's good that you could take time. I have to act on it right away, but I think I can work up to that. I can work up to giving it some sleep. That's smart. It's really smart.
Yeah, and it just seems that whatever the challenge is, it seems less if you give it some time and you really think about it. It's not as big a challenge as you really thought it was, and then again, you learn from it and just move on. All right, next question. What's been the most rewarding part of building a business together?
Oh,
So this is more like a couples question, then,
yeah.
right?
And that's like, for the woman, that's like the oh. It's definitely brought us closer. We've also had some, not physical fights, obviously, but some verbal frustrations with each other at times. But once we've worked past that, or worked through it, not past it, and come to a really great resolution, felt so much more fulfilled. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's brought us closer for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I think for most couples, they're working their separate careers, and they're kind of working in different paths, if you will. They're working in kind of different worlds. And it's rare that couples get to work together, on a common goal and a common project. And it absolutely has brought us closer together. I think, like you said, at first, it was a challenge for sure. But like we were saying, challenges help you grow, help you be better. And it certainly has helped us, because us having to figure out how to work past those early challenges. And I mean, and you look back on them now and you think, gosh, that was silly. Why did we argue about that? That didn't make any sense. But it helped us to grow and helped us to find solutions together, and find common ground. And it's helped us in every aspect of our lives.
Yeah. And, it's funny now that we're talking through this, it made me think about how many times, as a police wife, and you were a police officer, how many people told me, oh, I could never be a policeman's wife. I heard that so many times. And I'm like, really? Well, I am. So I'm going to figure it out along the way. And it reminds me that that's what I love about having our own business together, because there were so many alone times where you weren't with me. John had his buddies at work and I didn't. And so this has been such a cool thing as a couple to come together too, on top of that. So
Yeah, for sure. And then the other thing too is, since we work on our own business together, we share everything about that business and every aspect of it. We're working on that together. And when you were a teacher and I was going to work as a policeman, I didn't share everything with Vic. I wouldn't want to. I didn't share everything with our kids. I shared some of the fun stuff and some of the fun stories, but not everything. And I'm sure there was a lot that you didn't bother sharing with me about your.
I don't know. You know us women.
Maybe you did.
Probably tried to tell you everything, bore you to death.
Yeah, that's probably why I fell asleep right away, huh?
It's funny.
But in the end, if you have your own business, if you're working your own business together, it brings you really together because you're sharing everything.
Yeah. Really cool.
Okay, next one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you balance your personal and professional relationship?
I know for me, I have the family calendar. I think it helps being a mom too, because we have that foundation where we have a family calendar and everything goes on the birthdays first, birthday parties, events for school go on the calendar first. Like we're the type of parents that didn't miss anything. Practices. We were the parents that went to pretty much all the practices too. And then business would go in there next, and then our personal stuff. But I will say, if there was a business conference that we needed to be at somewhere that was really important for our business, the kids understood that, okay, mom and dad are going to have to miss this or this, but guess what? We're here at everything else. So they were on board with that. But that's calendar management is the biggie. And now we used to have a calendar by the fridge in the kitchen. We still do, but I also now have a digital calendar and I'm trying to get John and I to share our Google calendars to make it easier. So we'll keep you posted on how that goes.
Yeah, and yeah, I think too, the balancing the personal and professional. Sometimes joining them helps because, like you were saying earlier about the kids,
Yeah.
letting them know that there are certain events that Vikki and I had to go to, but we're there for everything else that the kids do. But sometimes on some of those events, we can include the kids. And then since we work our business from home, there's oftentimes we're doing something and we just kind of, when the kids were small, of course, we would task them with helping us with the business, so that our personal life then became kind of intertwined with our business life, and the kids were a part of that, and they realize that, and they really see. I guess they see that you and I are working hard toward a common goal, and it's for the benefit of the entire family. And I think that got them on board too. So I think sometimes we don't want to separate it.
Right.
It worked out well that we kind of merged them together.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, then who has influenced your business mindset most?
Gosh, I would have to say I've read a ton of books, listened to a lot of YouTube, podcasts, but Jim Rohn, and it's spelled JimRohn. Why am I like drawing a blank? Was I M or N? Anyway, Jim Rohn. He is phenomenal on his mindset. And I could listen to him all day, every day, and not get tired of it. So, honestly, it goes back to him. But I could give you a list of 100 personal development books that have also touched me. But when it comes to like, if I have a tough day and I need to be fired up about something, well, one, I might put on music and dance, but I'll listen to a Jim Rohn podcast or YouTube video.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree that I can't really put my finger on one. It's because between the two of us, I mean, we've read so many books and we've listened to so many audibles and watch podcasts and whatnot. So there's so many people that have, but I think the classics, right? The Dale Carnegies, like you said, the Jim Rohns, the John C. Maxwells, they have had probably the biggest influence on me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And there's a number of them that I've read over and over and over again. And it's really weird. Even if I've read them 10 times, the 11th time I pick up something new that I didn't get. And any of the first 10 times I read it, and I'm thinking, why did that happen? But it's just things you'll pick up. So even if you've read something, you've got a favorite that you've read and it's really impacted you, read it again. And you'll find that there'll be more little nuggets you'll pick up out of that.
Isn't that called like learn knowledge, activity knowledge? Yeah, because you go do something in your business and you're now in a different place. Yeah, and go back and it's learn knowledge again. Yeah, pretty cool.
Okay, let's see here. What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone starting a business with their spouse or partner?
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Keep the sharp knives and objects away.
And we knew we had these questions, but I really didn't think them over. I wanted to like have it come off naturally for you. So it would be, I honestly think after all these years, it would be that you need to find something that helps people, a business that number one helps people. one that is consumable. People are going to use it and need more of it and keep buying from you. I mean, that's a smart business for you, right? You've got that repeat book of business every month, and ultimately change people's lives, give solutions for whatever ails them. I mean, honestly, that's for me. What about you?
Oh, I would just say, I guess it's going to be tough on your relationship at first. Just being so close together, working on something like this, but don't ever take anything personally. Like there are times that you and I have had differences of opinion on many things with our. We've had more than one business, so on our different businesses, and then later, like when I've thought about it, I thought, you know what, actually, you were right, or at least you brought up really good points. So I would just say always respect your spouse or partner, and never make it a personal thing. And yeah, I think that's pretty
Yeah.
much it. It's going to be different, that's for sure.
Yeah.
At first.
And now I just want to compliment my husband. He's such a good guy. You
Yay.
didn't correct me. I didn't answer that question that he asked me. I had it in my head. What advice would I give to someone starting a business, not starting a
Do you
business?
want a mulligan?
I need a mulligan on that one. That is
Get a
so
do-over.
funny. Um,
Yeah, I saw you reading the paper. Like, what?
yeah, that I don't know what happened, but starting a business with a spouse. So the mulligan would be that I like exactly what you just said. And also, I would just throw in giving each other grace. Give yourself grace for when maybe you're working the business together, you say something wrong, you do something wrong. Take ownership of it, but don't beat yourself up over it. So give yourself grace, and same for your husband. Give your or spouse, give your spouse grace for if they made a mistake, and they're just human too. We're all just trying to do the right thing. So the more we give each other grace, the better we'll get along.
Yeah.
Working together.
Yeah. Okay. And then how do you define success in both business and life?
Gosh. You probably the old me, the 20-year-old Vikki would say money. Like the more money I make, the more successful I am. And a lot of ways that is still true, right? Money doesn't buy you happiness. It's what you do with it that creates that happiness. Uh, so I really now, after how many years in business, what is it? 40 years did we figure out? 40 plus years in business. I know we don't look like it, do we? I say that on every episode. But so how I define business success in business now is that it's the amount of people we help along the way. How many people we can help to be successful in whatever it is they're doing, whatever business they have. That to me is the ultimate success. Because at the end of the day, when we're gone, what difference did we make? What mark did we leave on this world? And I hope it's an impactful, powerful one that helped a lot of people.
Yeah, that's really good, because that's kind of what I was kind of along the lines of what I was thinking. So now you stole my answer. That most people define success in terms of money, right? How much money do they make, and that's who they are and what they do. And that's really not it. Certainly we need to make money, obviously, right? We need to put food on the table. We need to have shelter for our families, and all that costs money. But certainly there comes a time when money is it's just money, and it's what you've done with it and how many people you've helped. And I agree 100% with you that I know we both get so much satisfaction out of helping someone else to be successful in their business that they work from home. And we've done that with so many people. And whether their goals are to just maybe bring mom home so she doesn't have to work and she can be home to raise her kids, or maybe free up dad from having to work extra overtime, or maybe the other way around. Maybe dad wants to be home with the kids and mom is out there working overtime. It doesn't matter. One of them, at least get one of them home to stay home to take care of the kids. That's huge. I think that's a key to raising really good kids, is having more parental influence instead of sending them off to daycare. And if that's what you do, I'm not saying that that's wrong. By no means. I'm not saying that at all. But I think most kids are better off when they have mom or dad, or mom and dad at home to be there with them. And then overtime is bad. I'm sorry. I don't like overtime. I think it's just trading hours for dollars. And then when you've already worked a full-time job and then you're working more overtime on top of that, you're even trading more of your precious time and you don't have any time freedom. And so if we can help families get away from getting stuck in that overtime rut, and I think that's a huge.
Yeah, that's big for you because you did it. You did work overtime. So you speak from experience that's why you're not for it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it seems great because you get your paycheck and it's like the time for when you're working overtime, at least for me, it was time and a half. So it was like, wow, I'm getting a few more dollars for the hours I'm working. But then when you look at how many hours that I was actually trading for that paycheck, and then the worst part of it is I had to do that again the next week. And I had to do it again the next week. Otherwise, it's almost like taking a pay cut. And it's kind of like that hamster on that wheel. It just you never catch up. You never get off that thing.
Yep. All right. So are we on to the
lightning round? Yeah. You want to start it?
Yeah. Am I doing the first 5? You're doing the second 5, or do I do them all? Okay. This is fun. You're getting authentic Vikki and John right now. All right. Ready? I'll do like I ask you and then you ask me. Anyway, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Early.
Well, you got to answer it too.
Oh, coffee for me too.
And then I drank a lot of tea when I was a kid. I'm half Japanese. So, Mom, if you're watching, which you better be, and you better be liking and subscribing, but sorry, I still like coffee better.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, but the point is just to go fast, right? Okay. So here we go. Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Early bird. Favorite business book or podcast?
How to win friends and influence people.
Same. He stole my answer. Oh, I'm going to say it again because it's worth writing down and getting. How to win friends and influence people. What's your guilty pleasure?
I'm going to steal this one from you too. Cigars.
Ice cream.
No, you don't smoke cigars.
No, I know. Ice cream. Dream vacation destination.
Oh, it's a tough one. We've been at some really nice places. I would have to say the Seychelles.
Ooh, Malta for me.
Malta.
At least right now. It could change, right?
Yeah, it does.
You ask us next week. Favorite movie or TV show to unwind?
I'm supposed to be asking the next 5. So favorite movie or TV show to unwind?
Movie is Sound of Music and TV show to unwind is Dateline to unwind. I know, it's crazy.
Oh boy, I don't watch movies or TV to unwind.
Yeah, you don't. What do you do then to unwind?
I usually smoke a cigar and then have a nice cocktail of some sort.
Bourbon. Yeah, love it. Yeah.
Okay. What's one thing you can't live without besides your phone?
My hubby.
Okay. What's 2 things you can't live without besides your phone?
Oh, what would it be? Probably makeup. Well, anyway, that's my answer for now. Okay. What about you?
It would be you.
Oh,
actually, yeah, it would be you. And then the other thing would probably be, gosh, that's tough. There's a lot of things I wouldn't want to do without. Cigar.
Yeah.
I just have to say that again. Okay. If you weren't an entrepreneur, what would you be doing?
Holy cow. That's not a lightning round question. Looking for a side business, looking for a hustle if I wasn't one.
See, but that means you were one. You have that mindset. What if you didn't have enough? Well, I guess.
But I would listen to podcasts like this that opened my eyes to having an additional income stream.
Yeah. If I were not, what would I be doing? I would still be at work. I would be driving to the city of Los Angeles every day and just hating it. Because I see some of the guys that are still there that I used to work with, and they're not happy. So anyways.
And that's sad because you used to love it. That's sad.
It's not the same job anymore though. Okay. So what's your, this is funny. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh my gosh. Sweet Caroline.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
What about you?
We just did this last weekend. And the problem is if I'm going to sing karaoke, I don't remember what happened. So I don't have a go-to because I don't remember what the go-to song is.
Yeah, we were at Oktoberfest up in Big Bear, if any of you are from California. And yeah, we did karaoke back at the cabin.
Yeah.
Funny.
And then the last one here is, what's one word that describes you?
Loyal.
Yeah. That is a good one for you. I'd say maybe like tenacious.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one for you too.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We hope you join the next one. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thanks for joining us on Dig the Well.
We hope you feel empowered and ready to take on new challenges.
Remember, if we can do it, so can you. Keep learning, keep believing, and going after your dreams.
And if you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who needs a little inspiration or maybe a nudge in the right direction.
Help us grow this community of go-getters. Together, we can achieve greatness and get back to family.
Thanks for listening, and let's keep digging the well.